Welcome to the Saul's Newsstand News Review for October 11th, 2019. The Washington Examiner reports, Democrats have abandoned Clinton impeachment's bipartisan format. House Democrats have abandoned a long-standing tradition of bipartisan cooperation when it comes to launching impeachment inquiries. Democrats are holding hearings behind closed doors and have so far provided Republicans with little more than the right to question witnesses who show up in a secure hearing room in the basement of the U.S. Capitol. Republicans have labeled the process, quote, a clown show, kangaroo court, and a sham, and the White House has refused to cooperate. The whole process is partisan and unfair, said Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio, the top Republican on the House Oversight Committee. The Democrats are employing a far different procedure than the accord the parties arranged 2 decades ago when lawmakers weighed the impeachment of President Bill Clinton. The Clinton impeachment inquiry opened in December of 1998 with a bipartisan agreement that the rules would be based on those used in 1974 during the impeachment investigation into President Richard M. Nixon. Those rules provided the minority with some rights, including the power to call witnesses and to seek authority to issue subpoenas. The impeachment inquiry now underway in the House is not following the rules or bipartisan parameters employed in 1998. House lawmakers never voted to open the inquiry, and Republicans did not weigh in on how the inquiry will proceed in committee. We would encourage you to read the full article by clicking on the link in the description below. An op-ed from Townhall states, drug importation risks patient health. Ron DeSantis, Florida's Republican governor, recently signed a bill that would allow Sunshine State patients to purchase prescription drugs from Canada. He's hardly the only politician to embrace drug importation. Colorado Governor Jared Polis, a Democrat, inked a similar bill this spring. Vermont Governor Phil Scott, a Republican, did so last year, and members of Congress from both parties support the importation. The United States has one of the safest drug markets in the world. Thanks to rigorous FDA oversight, American patients can trust the quality of their drugs. The FDA makes pharmaceutical companies prove the safety and efficacy of every drug in various tests, including multiple clinical trials. That's why it often takes up to 15 years to bring a single medicine from the lab to pharmacy shelves. Most foreign governments don't have such high standards, and as a result, their drug markets are riddled with unsafe counterfeit products. Indeed, 1 in 10 drugs sold in developing nations is either fake or substandard. That makes the counterfeit drug trade a $30 billion a year business. Supporters of drug importation claim patients can trust the quality of drugs imported from a developed nation like Canada, but they're mistaken. In 2018, U.S. prosecutors fined CanadaDrugs.com, an online pharmacy that advertised itself as Canada's largest, $34 million for funneling counterfeit cancer drugs into the United States. The 2 medicines, Avastin and Altazin, contain no active ingredient. They were completely useless. In other words, there's no such thing as a safe importation scheme. No matter what politicians say, counterfeit drugs are too pervasive for regulators to protect American patients. It's no wonder Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar calls drug importation, quote, a gimmick. And finally, KSAT warns us, imposter calls threaten to cancel Social Security benefits. Do not press 1. That's the instruction from the Federal Trade Commission as it warns about a new twist on the old Social Security Administration scam. The ruse begins with an auto-dialed call with a voice telling folks their SSA benefits are about to be canceled, and to speak with someone, just press 1. Doing so will only connect you to an imposter who will then try to trick you out of your money or information. The real Social Security Administration says it will never call to threaten a person's benefits, nor tell people to send money by wire, gift card, or otherwise. If you get one of these calls, the FTC advises you to hang up, warn your friends and neighbors, and report it to the FTC. The SSA scam is the #1 scam being reported to the FTC right now. Nearly 73,000 reports about the fraudulent calls have been reported in the first 6 months of this year, with losses of $17 million, according to the FTC. And that concludes your Saul's Newsstand News Review for October 11th, 2019. For more political news faster, visit saulsnews.com.